All right, welcome back. Let's see what this mission looks like if we're going to fly by the mun and get a lot of science. So we're 2 minutes away from our first burn. The main plan is to burn here to get us into a wide elliptical orbit that intersects with the mun, and then we make a correction burn right here so that we get the orbit that we want, which will bring us close to the mun. So first burn is coming up very shortly. Now you notice that there's a little arrow here that points me in the direction the rocket should be going in. I can either maneuver with the keyboard, or I could click the maneuver button here, which will automatically point the rocket in the appropriate direction for the maneuver. This is one of the reasons my maneuver nodes just rock, because it's once you set the maneuver node, it's pretty straightforward how to do it. So I need a change in velocity of 829.1 meters per second for my maneuver node, and the node comes up in about 1 minute now. I'm going to start burning a little bit early because you want about the same time burning before and after the node. So here goes. Fire up our rocket. Oh, it's giving me a burn time of only a few seconds, so I might have hit it a little bit early. That's okay. It'll all be good. Now I'm out of fuel. I'm going to kill the engine, do stage separation, bring up the power, and next stage activates the engine. Here we go. And my node's in 21 seconds. I'm changing my velocity, and I'm only burning a little bit. I don't need much thrust right now because this is a big engine attached to a tiny little stage. If you have a smaller engine for this kind of stage, that would even be better. So that Terror engine would be great right now, but this one will do. And stop. Okay, so I stopped it. It's green. That means I did a pretty decent job. I think I overshot it by just a little bit. I'll hit check mark. That will get rid of that node. So if I go back to the map, I can see now in blue my path is going to intersect the mun here. And at this point, I have a little bit of an issue because my burn wasn't quite perfect. I might have to readjust my maneuver node. Let's zoom in and on the moon and see. So this is what I think. Actually, this is still pretty good. This is what my path would take if I don't do anything. This orange line, which is kind of disastrous since I would plow head on into the mun. But with my correction burn, I'm going to be at about 38,000 meters. If you remember, I wanted to get within 60,000, so that's actually just fine. So if this is now kind of not so good, I can go and adjust this maneuver node by clicking on it, and I can adjust it as needed. In fact, I'll just for fun get a little bit closer to it. Let's see if I can do that to the moon. 25,000. Sure, that sounds good. All right. Now, if I go back here, the estimated time is 1 hour 53 minutes. You can warp time to get there, but the danger is you'd warp past where your maneuver node is. So I'm going to do something clever. I can click on this path right here and click warp to next maneuver. If you click on the dashed line after the maneuver, you get this option. So it's warp to the next maneuver. Ooh, there's the moon. There's the mun coming closer and closer and closer. How exciting. So now I click in the direction of my maneuver node, and I'm going to fire on my engine. I'm going to hit shift to bring up the power gradually. This isn't really a big change in velocity here, so it's going to happen pretty quick. Yeah. Engine's at the lowest setting right now. All right. Let's see how well I did. Go back to the map, check my periapsis, it's at 24,000 meters, and it's going to put me eventually into this orbit after I fly by the moon. So this is wonderful. Now, if you remember, for our science boundaries, I believe it was 250 kilometers out was in space high around Kerbin. And I am well past that right now. So I think I can do some science. Let's zoom in on my rocket here. And I can observe mystery goo here. In space high over Kerbin, keep that. Log the temperature. Do a pressure sensor. Log the pressure data. Dum-da-dum-da-dum. Let's do an EVA. EVA report, get back on board the spacecraft, and I can only do one of these crew reports, so I'll just do it now. Oh, I must have done it already because I'm getting no science, so I'll just do that again when I get to the moon. Okay, now we just want to get to the moon, so I'm going to click where I want to go here. So it's going to, I'm going to go here. Here's where it intersects with the moon encounter, and then it's going to go right here, and then finally it's going to escape the moon here. So if I click right here, when I just enter the moon space, I can get science for flying high over the moon. So I'll click warp here. And there we go. I'm now over the moon. Let's see if I can find it. Ooh, look at that. Is that I think that's Kerbin there in an eclipse. How cool is that? Now where's the moon? There it is. Awesome. So let's do some more science. It looks like I've already used this little thing, so I'll use this one this time. Observe the mystery goo. In case you're not sure, if you right-click on it and it gives you an option to review data, that means you've already run the experiment. Now I'll get my pressure data. Right-click, get my temperature data. And do a little EVA. Where am I? There I am. Oh, in case you're in total darkness and you're on EVA, hit the little light action group here, and he's got cute little lights on his helmet. And on board. Okay, so I've done all the science there. Now I want to do science in space low around the moon. So I'm just going to warp right near my periapsis. I'm coming from this direction, so if I warp here, I'm probably going to be within it. So warp. Let's look at it from this view. Whee! All right. Oh, that's not very photogenic. We're on the dark side of the moon. I'm within 60,000 meters, so I can do some science if I can see what I'm doing here. Right-click on this. I already did that mystery goo. Yeah, this is annoying. Observe mystery goo here. Yeah, this is where it pays to have a nice bright screen. Oops, log data. If it tells you to review data, you've already activated that. You don't want to kill the data you've already taken. Log the temperature. Great. Do a little EVA. And board. Now, let's start moving away from the moon here, and we can get back to Kerbin. So I'm going to just warp time manually just to get into this orbit right here. So if I warp time here, takes a little while, and I'm moving away from the moon. Bye-bye, bye-bye, moon. Thank you for all the science. All right. So now the next video we'll get back to Kerbin. All right. Good luck. Just kidding, I'm back. Let's check out the orbit that we're on and how to get back to Kerbin. Uh, I'm on a wide elliptical orbit. Periapsis, pretty close to Kerbin. Apoapsis, very, very far away. Now, the most efficient way to get back is to burn at the apoapsis and lower the periapsis until it hits in the atmosphere. This is just like regular deorbiting. So I'll add a maneuver node here. I burn retrograde my new periapsis. All right, 76,000 that's not quite good enough. 11,000, that's a little bit too much. 18,000, there, perfect. So now I think I'm going to swing around Kerbin here, come back over here, execute this burn, and then on the way back, I'll hit the atmosphere and come in. So we're almost done, but for one final wrinkle. Let's go back to my brave spaceship here. The little problem is, if you remember, I had I'm still in this annoying eclipse. It's going dark. I have all my science attached here, and I'm going to jettison this whole part of the spacecraft away. So if I do that, if I chuck away all of my science experiments, then I'm not going to get any credit for doing them, and that's awful. So what I need to do is do an EVA. So we got a problem. We need to go and get that science, and the way to do it is to do an EVA. So I've got my dude outside there right now. I can put on the headlights. There he is. And now I can just run around and collect all of this data. And if I let go, whoop, get up there. Hey. Hey, come back. Well, if I go and catch this data here, you're going to watch me flail around here. Yeah, unfortunately, if I muck this up, but here we go. Doing a spacewalk is always a bit of a challenge, but if I get near one of these things here and I right-click on it, then I can take the data, and now the data is with me and not with the scientific instrument. So if I board the pod now, I have the data from that experiment, and I don't need to keep this thing. I can throw this experiment away because I have the data with me. And if I run around, get all the data, get back in the capsule, then all I need to do is get my astronaut and my capsule back on the ground safely. All right, so that's how it's done. Good luck.